starting transmission. So play the intro.
Yeah.
There we go.
Whoa. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular, yeah. Celebrities. Started with a combo, now the world leaning in. For vets in the room, let the stories begin. No filters, no scripts, just wisdom and sin. We talk, hustle hard, and the places we've been. From the field to the mic, that growth is the lesson. Turn pressure into presence, that's the real confession. Got the crowd tuned in for the raw and the rare. You can feel the truth breathe through the air. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Talk music, talk ball, talk rank and salute. Every topic on the table, every word in pursuit. We the voice for the ones that the world overlook. Turn pain into punchlines, life into the hook. Yes, in the chair, we breaking the mold. Every episode's heat, every message is gold. No gimmicks, no mask, just purpose and peace. When the lights come on, that real don't cease. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrity. We ain't chasing fame, we redefining the game. Give light to the name that the system can't tame. Got the people tuned in, cause they feel our lane. It's the voice of the real, not a chase for acclaim. Mic check, then the vibe start to settle for a host. One stage and the truth is the metal. So before that show start, let the beat breathe steady. When you hear the name, just know we ready. Oh yeah, when you hear the name, just know we ready. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities.
Yo, all right. I'm just gonna ask you: is they working on anything?
Yeah, I
I'm not.
see we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook.
All right. I'm trying to get the Facebook chats to come up because right now I don't think it's working.
I see you put test twice.
Yeah, it's not working on my end over here.
You mean you can't see it?
Correct. I can't put it up on the
Screen.
screen.
If not, I mean I can see it on both sides. I got it both open.
I could put the YouTube ones up, but the other ones I can't. The Facebook ones I can't. I don't know why, but just have to work without it for today. Cause I don't know why it's not coming up. It's not showing me anything. No kind of YouTube or Facebook love at all. Yo, I'm about to hit Zuckerberg up. I'm pretty upset at him right now. Everything was working perfectly, and now all of a sudden everything's all jacked up. I'll let you kind of take it away as I'm trying to open this up and trying to figure this out for 10 minutes.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. For those who are listening and soon to join in, welcome to another edition of Unpopular Celebrities. I am one of four hosts. Yours truly, Peace Human Beings, is Philly DC once again in the building. And we thank you for joining us today. We have the co-host also, aka engineer, and also the financial guru, of the show, aka finance guru, aka engineer, aka Charlemagne the God slash whatever. I just. You got Pete. Yeah, I can hear you. You got Pete. Also, you got Del Brown, who's in Germany. Guten Tag to Del Brown in Germany. And then you have Jessica Player. Also, we are Unpopular Celebrities. We form like Voltron, aka Wu-Tang Clan, however you want to put it. So we're back again. So we got a great show for you today. We're just taking care of some technological things. While we're doing that, I just want to remind you, if you are enjoying what you're listening to and what you've heard from our past work on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, please consider sharing, and subscribing, especially on YouTube. We would like to get not only in the algorithm, but also get to 500 subscribers. The road to 500 subscribers. And I'm going to tell you this. This is kind of like late breaking news. When we get to 500 subscribers, there will be a giveaway. Yours truly is going to have a giveaway. Not going to tell you what it is, but when we do 500 subscribers, I will do a giveaway. So, but we got to get to 500. Right now, we're just at 425, 430-ish, something like that. But 500 subscribers, I will do a giveaway for you guys. Now, as I said before, we got a great show ahead of you. Just to give you a light skim of what we're going to talk about, various topics. If you caught the thumbnail, one of the main headline story is, I'm hitting the microphone, is the WNBA. If you know, the WNBA and its players had a issue where they was about to go to a lockout over pay for the WNBA players, and they just so not too long ago settled. But the question is, did the WNBA players get what they wanted, or did the owners ultimately win? So that's the headline story. Also, we will also talk about the MTI scandal. For those who may not know, there is unfortunately a recent scandal surrounding the Air Force over at 37th Training Wing, basic military training, of a MTI instructor who allegedly, I repeat, allegedly slept with 3 recruits since 2024. So we will cover that. Also, we will cover an interesting story out of Ohio of a lady who was a worker at a company called TQL who asked for a work stay-at-home variance due to a medical condition, was denied, and unfortunately, well, let me backtrack. Well, I won't go into details of that. Let's just say she won the lawsuit, so now the company's got to pay her $2.2 million for not allowing her a work variance to stay home. Also, we will cover the latest message from the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, pertaining specifically to military members who were ejected or volunteered to leave the military because they didn't want to take the COVID vaccine. So there was an update to that law or that rule. So we will also cover that. And then also we will cover the couple of fun things that military folks say when working in the civilian sector. You may know it as you work in the civilian sector, you may use different jargon and terminology that civilians will say, what does that mean? And you have to explain it to them, or maybe you don't explain it to them because you think it's funny. So we will cover all that today. So sit back, relax. And as always, if you want to chime in, feel free to comment. Or if you're feeling froggy, ask to jump on the show, no problem. We'll do that too. So while Pete is still taking care of some technological stuff, unless you're ready, we can run into the first story.
Yeah, we could go into. I'm still trying to take care of stuff, but it is what it is at this point.
Okay,
I mean,
well, I'll spend some time. While we do that, I'll take a quick couple of minutes to talk about my week. Share what we've been doing, what I've been doing. So real quick, so you may ask like what I've been up to. Thank you for asking. So I had just recently retired 1 March from the military. I am free, free falling. It has been interesting. It wasn't, it's been fun. It has been fun. And so real quick, so you may ask like what I've been up to. I can hear myself now. Keep asking. So I had just recently retired 1 March.
Oh, that is me. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
that was strange. Anyway, but yeah, as I was saying, done 1 March. I've been hanging out with my pup, going to school. Shout out to Glass Soldier, my internship as part of my master's social work degree. Been doing that. Sharma, what's going on? Yet another retiree. Welcome, Sharma. How are things for you? Drop in the comments how you've been doing with your retirement, especially yourself being a command chief as well. I saw an interesting story or post by Chief Master Sergeant retired Keith Castile. Shout out to KC. Mostly everybody in the Air Force Enterprise knows him. He's a pretty good dude, or shall I say Dr. Castile. Don't know which one he prefers, but anyway. Saw an interesting post from him talking about the struggles of transitioning, especially when you're used to being in a room where a lot of the things you say matter. You have the authority, you have the credibility. And then when you transition, Sharma says, life's amazing. You go, girl. Good stuff. But back to KC's comment, just to put it in a nutshell, it really resonated with me and many other folks because I think all of us, regardless of rank, that's something we have to navigate. Is when you retire, you lose a lot of that camaraderie, you lose a lot of that authority, the credibility, and then you're in the civilian sector. And dare I even mention, you're working with people who don't or may not have the same values you may have. Like being to work 15 minutes early, covering down on someone, helping them with their job, understanding the chain of command, how things work. You'll find civilians, not all, but the majority of civilians don't know about that or don't give two ducks. You'll be shocked that there's work to be done, but people are walking out the doors at exactly 4:30, not a minute past. And you think to yourself, like, yo, there's still work to do. Like, I'm not leaving. And they look at you like you crazy, So it's quite the adjustment. So I am slowly adjusting. I am excited about the future. Obviously, there's a lot more things I still have to wait on to have a better, clearer sight picture. But I'm excited. I'm excited, and for those who may ask, do I miss the military? It's kind of early, but I would say I miss the people. I miss being able to celebrate in their success. We had the senior master sergeant released a couple of weeks ago. I sent my congratulatories and emails and text messages and such, but it's just different. It's different than, like Sharma, I know you can relate when you get the notification someone gets promoted, and especially somebody that you really think deserve it, and you get to, with your commander, go over there and recognize them. It just, you can't beat that feeling. Sharma says, I miss the people, love the freedom. Yeah, I agree. I wish you can have both, right? The people and freedom. You can kinda, which brings to another point too that Pete talks about a lot. And I think Keith mentioned it as well, is your relationships. You'll find, I found once I retired, I found out which relationships really matter. Meaning, you're going to find the people who really value who you are outside of your rank will still be around. And for those that was only there for transactional purposes, they're gone. And I think for some people, it may be difficult because you'd be like, yo, how come we don't talk anymore? How come, they call me every month or every week, send me a message, but now nothing. That can be hard for some people too. So you've got to, I think that's a good and a bad thing too. You just got to realize which ones you'll find out who are really your friend. So anyway, So that's a quick snapshot of what I've been, dealing with, or not dealing with, going through over the past couple of weeks. So everything's good, just got some more things I got to figure out. So
All
everything's
right.
good.
That's what's up. We're ready
All
to,
right.
I'm ready to go now. I mean, as
All
ready as
right.
I will be. So it is what it
Good.
is.
You want to share something about what you've been doing this week, or
No,
no? You want to just get right
no.
into
Yeah, we'll just get right into it.
it? Okay. All right. Grumpy Bear says, let's get right on into it. Okay. So, first thing, let's talk about what I think is hot off the presses, an unfortunate story, the MTI scandal that's ongoing. Which one you got queued up?
I got the WNBA.
You want to talk about that first?
Yeah, we'll just go into that real quick. It won't
Okay.
last long.
All right. With disregard, we'll do the WNBA story first. Over to you.
All right, so everybody knows WNBA. They got their CBA deal, and the players are saying, and all social media for the most part, and a lot of people are really happy for the women, right? And really happy for the WNBA. I think it's a good league. I think it will continue to thrive. But a lot of people are looking at it, and a lot of people are saying that these players are taking their victory lap, right? They got a raise, they got promotion, whatever you want to call it. So they're taking their little victory lap as far as, I guess, what's happening. I don't know how else to describe it. They're happy they're getting paid more. Well, there's an underlying thing with this payment, right? With anything. If you ever thought, and I'm trying to put it into perspective, and maybe you could help. When a company, if you work for a company and they give you a raise, they're giving you a raise because of work that you put in, right? It's usually because of that and because of where you're going. You don't get a raise if you're about to get fired. You don't get a raise if you've been a dirtbag, right? You usually get a raise for the work that you've done and the work that you're about to do. With that being said, they're looking at, okay, if I give you this raise, it's because the company is making more money also, right? So let's not forget that. And what the players are saying, which I can respect, they're basically like, we know the owners are going to make more money, but we're making more money. And that was the whole point. So I want to play this video of the Dan Le Batard show. You know who Dan Le Batard is?
No.
All right. So Dan Le Batard is like a Stephen A. Smith on a lower level. He does a lot of sports talk, right? He has Dan Le Batard show, and he brought into perspective about the WNBA, about what really happened with this deal. For the most part, right? So he gives the players their flowers, and Draymond, he had a good video too about this. So I don't have that one queued up, but if I did, I'll show that one. But we will show this video real quick. Let me know if you can hear. Just give me a good to go or something. All right. So we'll play this video. Y'all watch this video. Dan Le Batard show. It's only, don't worry about, we're not playing the whole thing. We'll play this quick part real quick.
25.
Nope, can't hear it.
Yeah, I heard it.
Oh, you did? All right.
Yeah.
So it's on me. Hold on. Make sure I can hear it. All right, let's try it again.
Salary was 66 grand and the supermax was 249,000. So when you say it that way, everyone could say the players win, except if you were watching the writers' strike and the future of AI and everything that was coming next, this does not account for how much money these people are going to be making in 3 years. Not the players, the owners. Because of what, look at David Smile. He knows what just happened here. He knows the players are trying to set it up to look like a win, and they did get a bigger percentage, but they didn't get the percentage of value that this league is going to be worth in 3 years. Silver and the owners won here.
Does that make sense?
No, I think he said something about they don't get the value of what the league's going to be worth in a couple of years.
Correct. So what they signed is not given the value to where the league is. So we'll continue to play this. I want to make sure, because that's a big point as we move forward. He's basically saying, yeah, they got this raise, but it's so minuscule on how so most CBA deals go for 3 years. Some are 4. This one is a 6-year deal. So it's like a car payment, right? When you have interest on 6 years, it's adding to the car, right? So if you have 10% interest on $1,000, every year you're paying 10% interest for 6 years. So it's going up and up and up and up. I'm not making sense to you, am I?
I hear you. I'm just trying to understand. Like, what's
All right,
the?
we'll keep playing the video. Maybe it'll make more sense. Let's keep playing this.
And the biggest thing that I would have looked for was an earlier opt-out, because you see players get that in baseball where, hey, let me get the opt-out because that is always pro player. Because if you're worth more, you opt out. If you're worth less, you opt in, and then you're overpaid. An opt-out in a collective bargaining deal. Look what the NFL is doing with their opt-out of the media deals. They're going to CBS for an extra 50% over what they're owed contractually because of this opt-out 4 years from now. When the WNBA players agreed to only an opt-out after year 6, you are locking it in for 6 years. And anytime you can get a union to lock in at a deal that you've won for that period of time, that's the point that should be the most despondency for the players, but no one's talking about
What
it.
I thought was the players are going to realize and fans are going to realize that this was a bad deal in 4 years, in 3 years. Like it sounds good now. They're framing it well now, but in 3 years they're going to realize, oops.
Yeah, if they
Does that make sense?
Yes and no. I still don't understand what the issue is.
It's not an issue. It's saying that the players are feeling like they just made the deal of the century. They really didn't.
I think deal of the century is probably a little exaggerated. I don't think, maybe by the way they're. Here's the thing, like I hear what he's saying. I see what you're saying, but this is how I look at it. You said earlier that, or he said that they're not getting what the league is worth in a couple of years.
Correct.
Well, before this agreement, is it not true? Most folks, including you, said they shouldn't get nothing because they ain't making nothing, right?
Correct.
And what they were making, most fans were saying that they got what they deserve because they ain't making it.
Correct.
And most people assume because of that the league was going to just continue on and not settle and go through a lockout and get scat players.
Correct.
But they found a way to get an agreement. And looking at the numbers, this is the first real revenue sharing system that WNBA ever had. And
no, they always had a revenue share system.
Okay,
They
based
just
on the
never made
research
no money,
I just did,
so there was no revenue to share.
Okay.
So this was the first year they made money. That's why there was revenue to share.
Wait a minute. Going back to what I said, most folks, including yourself, said the WNBA ain't making money. So how this is the first year they made money?
Well, when I was saying that, the stats didn't come out yet. Now the stats are out that they made money this year. So each team got like 500,000. I think they shared 50 million or something like that off of 20-something teams.
I frankly think this take they're doing, they're thinking of it, comparing it to other leagues, which I think is wrong. I think it's a bad idea.
Well, what they're saying is, if you think your league is so good, the deal that you signed is not good. You're only making $1 million a year. The team, $1 million a year for the next 10 years. And what your point is saying you can't compare that to the NBA, where the NBA, as just like a contract, when you sign your contract, like a rookie contract, your first year, you're making good money. Your second year goes up, your third year goes up. And by the time you make it to the 6th year is the max amount of money you can make, right? That's usually how contracts work. Follow me on that?
Yep.
With this deal, it's the same amount of money for the next 6 years. So that's why he's saying they're going to look at this and be like, man, we should have fronted the back end. If you think the league is going to be this successful later on, then you're betting on yourself saying, okay, we want $50 million. We'll do $1 million this year, $2 million next year. But in 6 years, the 6th year is going to be 20-something million that we want to share. But what they did was like, we'll just take $1 million for the rest of the next 10 years. Where is inflation's going to go up? Ticket prices are going to go up because inflation goes up. And so the owners are like, cool, we'll give you $1 million for the rest of the year. Congratulations. But in 5 years, that million is going to be worth about 300,000.
How do they know that? Again, this goes back to the beginning. Most folks believe they didn't deserve it anyway.
No. Look
until
at
these stats came out.
Look
When these
at it
stats
as-
came out, let me finish. When these
I'm
stats
sorry.
came out, they determined we made money this year. That's what you just said, right?
Yes.
So now that they made money and they're getting close to a lockout, and as you mentioned offline, you said, all right, well, Caitlin Clark won MVP at the FIBA or whatever it's called.
Right.
They're like, okay, maybe we capitalize on that. And the owners got together, okay, we'll just give them $1 million.
Right.
Everything that the players wanted, they did not get. What you and what this gentleman is saying is they only got a piece of it. And in the end, over time, they're going to realize like, oh, we shouldn't have did this because the league's going to be worth more. Again,
Correct.
no one thought that before they went this direction. The only people thought that is the players. It's just they didn't convince the fans or the owners until, I guess, these stats came out. And so when I look at the numbers, I look at it as when you negotiate something, there's a time where you have a lot of leverage where you can get everything you want because
Right.
all the cards are and all the cards you have.
Right.
That's not what the players have. The players knew, I think in some degree, they didn't agree with it, but they knew, one, they're not making the same as all the other sports, the NBA, NFL, whatever. They're not. Two, most folks, including the owners, felt like they didn't deserve it, but they felt like they should be getting paid more. So they don't have the leverage. The owners did.
Right.
So in the end, when you go in a negotiation, at some point, you've got to give a little, you got to give, it's a give and take. So with the players, maybe they didn't get everything they wanted. Maybe this may blow up in their face 5-6 years, but I would argue it's still a win for them. Maybe albeit not a large win, it's still a win. You think about it, the salary cap was what before?
Oh, I don't remember. I can't remember. I think it was
Based on the research I found, the salary cap before was $1.5 million.
Okay.
And now it's going to go to $7 million.
Yep.
The average salary was $600,000, minimum $300,000. The super max now is going to be $1.4 million to $2.4 million. $1 billion projected player earnings. So you got somebody like Aja Wilson, who is the 4-time MVP in the WNBA, who's making $250,000 a year. She can now make up to $2 million, maybe $1.4 million.
Correct.
And so over time, that's what the players wanted, more money, and that's what they got. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong or this person is wrong. I just think when they think about it, like, oh shoot, they made a mistake. I don't see it in that case.
What they're saying is that players are going around like this is a monumental deal and this is a deal that has changed, a transcendent deal and everything like that. Cool. For 1 year, it's almost like if I tell you, like you work at a company, I'm be like, hey, I'm going to give you a raise. I'm going to give you another $10 raise, right? And you're like, cool. But then I'm going to say, but you're not getting another raise for the next 10 years. Now, does that sound good?
It depends. I mean, look at where you're at now. If I was working for your company for 10 years and my product was, at least in my opinion, great, but the company felt like my product was mediocre. And I wanted to make more money. And I kept asking for a raise. You didn't give it to me. You didn't give it to me. And then I decided I'm not going to come to work. If I wasn't as good as you think I was, if I was as bad as you think I was, the company in that case, you would just fire me or let me not come to work. But you didn't. You allowed me to negotiate with you to get something. So you said, you know what? We're going to just keep you quiet. We're going to give you the $10 that you asked for, but you can't come back again in 6 years.
Correct.
Maybe for me, I'm fine with that because I got what I wanted, a raise.
No.
And yeah, maybe, and to your point, what you may say is, Well, how do you know in 6 years you're more marketable? How do you know in 6 years your work output is even better? How do I know it's not? How do we know the WNBA is not going to get any better? You don't know. You just assume.
Here's my thing. They wanted to compare themselves to the NBA, right? The NBA gets this much revenue. The NFL gets this much revenue. That's what they wanted. What they said was, you're still not getting revenue. You're still receiving less than 20%. The NBA and NFL are 50%. The UFC is the worst at like 17%. And they're right there next to them. So what you wanted, what you were arguing about was the revenue share. You still didn't get the revenue share. So like you said, the owners were like, almost like, don't look at this hand, look at this hand. And that's basically what they did. Because you remember, this whole thing started over revenue share. Mm-hmm. That's what the whole thing started over. Which makes sense, because you're going to make, this is where the point of thinking about the long term, you're going to make money if your revenue shares higher off the revenue the league gets, because inflation and how much the league, you got to think how much the league was getting when they first started 20 years ago and how much they're getting now. We can even go back 10 years ago to how much they're getting now. It's a mass difference. So what the owners are saying was like, for the next 10 years, or 7 years, or 6 years, because they have an opt-out. For the next 6 years, this is all you're going to be getting. Boom. It can go up to 2-point-something million, but this is the max you're going to be getting. This is it. The revenue share stay the same. So it don't matter if the league makes $10 billion next year. You're still only getting 17%. And you're saying that might be what I want. Cool. If that's what you want, then come on and say, this is what we wanted. This is what we got done. But they're making it seem like they just hit the lottery. And I think, I hate to say it, this is really going to hit people wrong. 4 years from now, 5 years from now, the rookies are going to be pissed they did this deal. The vets are cool. Because the vet's been in the league for, like Brittany Griner for like 14 years and ain't been getting paid nothing. So now they're like, thank God I can go buy the car I wanted. I can go buy the house I wanted, blah, blah, blah. But you only got 2-3 years left in the league, and that's it. What's also going to happen to the league is they only said there's only so many super maxes or only maximums that you can have on the team. So that's going to disperse the teams out. So the aces, who have a lot of good players, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, Cotton, Pow, you got Asia Wilson. They're not going to have that no more because there's not enough money in the league to pay them. Kind of what the NBA does. NBA spreads out their stars. There's sometimes where you can have mass contracts like the Warriors back in 2017 or the Heat way back in 2010. But most of the time, this is it. So it's going to really thin out the league, where you're only going to have one superstar in the league. So this is my prediction. Next year, the race for and this might be what the WNBA wanted, the race for the championship is going to be so thin. Whereas the what was your team your girl plays for? Minnesota
Lynx.
Yeah, They were killing everybody last year. They only lost I think 9 games or something like this. Like the disparity between them and everybody else was a far gap. They clinched the playoff way early. That's not going to happen no more. Everybody's going to be so tight. And that might be for a better product. They might play harder. I think they play hard now, but maybe that's what they want. But anyway, that's my rant about the WNBA. I hear what you're saying. If you want to close it out, I'll leave it up to you to close it out.
No, I just want to make sure I get something straight before I add this piece. So what the gentleman saying in the video and what you're trying to say is that the players are walking around talking about they won the lottery. Like they really didn't get anything. That's what y'all contend?
Right.
Okay. And this gentleman is saying, what was the share revenue system? What percentage was it at?
Before?
Yeah.
I think it was at like 13. And now they said close to 7 or close to 20. So nobody knows
Okay.
that that's 14. Nobody knows that 17. Nobody knows that 19 and a half. Nobody knows. That hasn't been published out.
All right. And so I'll say this, going back to what I said, they may believe this, and you may believe this, but then again, in negotiations, you have a decision to make whether or not what the other party is offering you is acceptable. And for the players, it was acceptable. And contrary to what this gentleman and other people may believe, to the WNBA players, yeah, it is a walk around, like a walk-off homer. Looking at like the reports, like even ESPN is saying this is the first time in league history that the salary system is even being directly tied to a share of the league revenue.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that's a win. And then you look at this reporter from ESPN, Shames, I'm butchering his individual's name. And she said, and I quote, "It's fair to say that the players signed past agreements, sometimes feeling they left more on the table than what they wanted to. They shouldn't feel that way this time. They held out on their most important issues and negotiated them with a firm purpose. This deal sets standards on salary and growth that weren't even in the picture just 6 years ago when the previous CBA was signed, which is why this deal really can be described as transformative." So again, if the players are happy, let them do their walk off. I think it's good for them.
I said you can have the last take, so I'll be quiet.
The main thing is what? How do they feel about the end game and this stuff about how big the WNBA is going to be in years, whatever? Yeah, it could be big. Maybe it's not. They're worrying about today. And if they're happy with that, let them do their walk off.
Okay.
My opinion.
Yeah. I just think when it's almost like I picture this when somebody gets a new car and they take a picture of their new car. You don't see nobody taking a picture of their new car payment. It's always just a new car. And I think this is what that is. Is they're like, look at us, look at our fancy new car that we're driving around with. Well, what about the car payment? Oh, it's $1,000. That sounds cool for the next 2 months. But what about 6 years from now? Is that still going to be cool?
Here's the key. Using that analogy, how many people know what your car payment is? No one knows, right? There's a lot of things people buy that people will scoff at if they knew how much you pay for, but the key is they don't know.
That's my point.
And in
That's
the
exactly
end,
what I just said.
No. You're not listening to what I'm saying. You said everybody takes a picture of their new car.
Right.
But they never take a picture of their car payment.
Right.
It ain't nobody business what your car payment is. And further, if you're fine with paying it, then it's a win for you. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. You don't know how that car is going to look later. I would argue there are cars you buy that you're paying $1,000 for, and in 6 years, you still have equity in it. And because of the type of car you may have, you can sell it at a profit. So my point is, to your analogy, if they're fine paying the car payment, that's great. If you don't think it's worth $1,000, that's your opinion or take on it. That don't mean it's not worth it to them.
Okay. All right, we'll move on because we'll be on this
Shout out
forever.
to WNBA players, man. Congratulations for getting y'all money.
Hey, good for you.
Congratulations.
Good for you. Temporary money's better than no money. You're right.
That's right. That's right.
Temporary money's better than no money.
That's right. Moving on. Let's get into the MTI scandal, shall we?
Yeah.
So there has been a MTI. Well, let me put in perspective for those who have not served in the military. Every branch has a basic military training that folks they go to learn or get indoctrinated into training for the specific service, like enlisted side. Even officer side is a little bit different. It's like officer training school. But anyway, we're talking about the enlisted side. In the Air Force, down at San Antonio, where I'm at, they have a place called basic military training. So they select folks from the Air Force to be military training instructors. You know, the guys that wear the big old hats. Don't think the late great Lee Emery from Full Metal Jacket. They're not that crazy,
okay.
not like that. But they're a bit intimidating. Their job is to train trainees. Well, when you do that, you have to sign something, or I believe they signed something that says you can't have any personal relationships with trainees. And when they graduate basic training, that extends 6 months after training.
Yeah, when I was instructor, we had the same thing.
Okay. Is this something y'all signed?
Yep.
Okay. So you signed something that says you cannot mess with basic trainees.
Well, ours weren't basic trainees, but since we were doing tech school airmen, while we were instructors, you couldn't have any personal relationship with them, which extends during the course and 6 months after.
Right. So any student.
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So the Air Force had a brief history, I believe it was around 2013, where there was a big scandal where you had a lot of MTIs and instructors sleeping with trainees. It was a big scandal, and they revamped training to avoid that from happening. So, and for the most part, it worked up till now. Unfortunately, there was a recent case of a MTI who was named or charged with allegedly sleeping with 3 trainees between 2024 and present. So here's the digits. Again, I'll stress allegedly. He has not been officially found guilty. Allegedly, Staff Sergeant Devontae Hardaway. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He was an MTI over at the 324th Training Squadron here at Lackland. He is an MTI for more than 2 years. He's being charged with failure to obey a lawful general order, engaging in prohibited relationships with trainees, adultery, obstruction of justice, and so forth. Anyway, so this allegedly happened between spring and summer of 24, summer and winter 24, into 2025. 3 female trainees, multiple encounters with 2 trainees, and developing inappropriately close relationships and attempting to interfere with investigations. So to put it in perspective, as I said, the last time they had an MTI case like this was in 2013 at this very location.
Mm-hmm.
And from 2011 to 2013, 35 MTIs were investigated. 69 trainees was impacted. I'll pause there because I'm talking too much.
No, you're good. The one I remember, I don't know if you remember, name is Lewis Walker.
Mm.
Okay, Lewis Walker was there when I was there. He's the one that got charged with 28 counts, including rape, is aggravated assault, sexual assault, with 10 trainees.
Wow.
I know he got a number of years in jail. I don't remember what it was, but I believe it was over. I think he got max. I think it was 20 years in jail. And then he was registered as a sex offender. But his was actually rape. And then he was, if you remember, he was found dead in his cell.
Mm.
That was 2014 when he was found dead. But my thoughts are this is going to continue to happen.
Mm.
I think it was happening when I came in. I'm not sure if you knew if it was happening when you came in. I had a sister flight. So that's how I know it was happening. No secret, but things were different back in 2003. And of course, people might be like, Pete, if you knew about it, why didn't you report? I didn't even know what to say. It was not a big thing back then where you just knew about, touching trainees. Like, I feel like let me get this out clearly. When they touched us, it was just to move us over there, or they might get in your face and their hat might touch your head if they're yelling at you or stuff like that. Nobody actually grabbed anybody or anything like that. But I have heard a lot of trainees or people that graduated came back and they said, oh yeah, I still talk to my TI. Or, oh yeah, we're friends on this, we're friends on that. All the time. And it's going to continue to happen. Here's the thing that people got to remember. When you're in a position of authority, it automatically makes you look 3 times better than what you are. Automatically. You can attest this as a chief. we can attest this as instructors. Automatically, you look 3 times better because you're in a position of authority, power. Some people can't handle that and let it go to their head. Same thing as being a dog handler. When we walk with a dog, some people think we look cute. They really think the dog looks cute, but we're just the person holding it.
Nah, it's just a dog.
Yeah. Could just be that. But all of a sudden, since we're the one holding it, we're the only ones they can talk to. They want to talk to us because we're dog handlers.
I want to double back to. Wait, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just going to say, it's just going to continue to happen. Go ahead, double back.
Yeah. I want to double back to what you just said. You said you think it's going to continually happen.
Yes.
Now, in fairness, just because this is the only case since 2013 doesn't mean it's not happening.
Correct.
For some reason, this one came to light, which is interesting because one thing I didn't catch until when I read off the information about the story is adultery. So this MTI is married, which means typically in cases like this, when you are committing adultery, and you're having multiple encounters with at least 2 trainees and, sexual relationship with 3 female trainees. When people find out, that's when names start to drop. So perhaps in this case, this individual, if it's true, did not consider like, hey, this is going to come back to bite you, especially you being married. But in fairness to your comment, I can see why you would say this is going to continue happening because it just there's probably more out there, but it never came to light. But
correct.
If it never came to light, that doesn't mean it's happening, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're 100% right.
What do you do? So to your point, when you say you think it's going to continue to happen, is there anything you can do or anything in addition to what they're doing now to avoid it from happening?
No, they need to stop trying to avoid it and just understand it's going to happen. I mean, I hate to say that's the best way to do it. You try to, you could change your system to hire people, but it doesn't matter. You don't know how people are going to act once the power gets in their head.
Yeah.
They say, money only makes you a bigger whatever you are. Same thing with power. It only makes you a bigger whatever you are. And when I say power, this goes to CEOs. This goes to, directors, chiefs, anything, any type of power over other people, high school teachers, principal. I mean, it goes all anywhere that you are have more authority than the people that are under you. Automatically. Sharma said, I was in BMT in 2003 as well. Was curious where these people would go for these activities. I give credit for the overhauling change, but there needs to be a deeper look. So, Sharma, when you say deeper, where they need to look deeper at? Because it's kind of hard they do their best. And here's the thing. I hate to say it, but I can say it now. When people want to go to Lackland to be trainees, be instructors, some really want to be instructors. They really want to help people out, and that's what they want to do. Some just want to get out the base they're at and go to a new base. And so they will tell you anything that you want to hear and convince anybody under the sun to get there. And there's no way to know how they're acting once they get there. And to your point, or to your question, was wondering where people go. Man, people used to sneak out of their bunks. I know female trainees, like I said, I have a sister flight, used to just go in the car with them. And late at night, 8, 9 o'clock at night. And I hate to say him because we didn't have a female TI, so I don't know about when the females ever done anything like this. I'm sure they have. But just like sexual assaults, they're more reported by females than males. Not saying that's the only sexual assaults. Sharma says, at first the issue was the work schedule and they made that adjustment. Yep. So what's the issue now? I think the issue is power, but you can't do anything about that. Only put females with females, only have female trainees with female instructors, and males can't talk to them at all. and females can't talk to males. I don't know.
Yeah, I think when, at least from my perspective, when Sharm said, what's the issue now? Like power, to your point, has always been an issue. So it's not like that's an issue now. That's always been the issue. I think what she's saying is that one of the things they looked at was work schedule to be able to track trainees and MTIs. So I don't know. I mean, one, I think I don't know. I wonder if when trainees arrive there, I'm assuming they have a briefing with them about trainee instructor relationships and the
Yeah.
consequences behind it.
Yeah. So we had to
Right?
step out. We had to step out the room, and our senior or one of our senior back office people would come in and give that briefing,
Okay.
and we had to step out the
So
room.
so then the question is, um, being able to track the interaction. So like you said, like, you mentioned cars or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know how it works now, but I would think there had to be some measure put into place where an MTI is always being observed and tracked when they're with a recruit. So in other words, let's say an MTI, a recruit says, I got a sick call appointment, and they leave the formation or wherever they're at. There should be a way to track them where they're not with an MTI. I don't know how they do it outside of having cameras on MTIs. Because the reason why I bring that up is like, say, if you have in a relationship between the MTI and the trainee, and the trainee says, hey, I got to go to sick call. Now, if I remember, when you go to sick call, it's not like you have someone with you unless it's another trainee, right?
Yeah,
Maybe,
another trainee.
right?
Yep.
So if at that point there's no tracking system, it's like they just go to the appointment. They march to the appointment,
Yep.
and maybe they tell them, you must get there by this time. Because I remember being in dental, they would have to track when they left or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? So this individual, if it's true, has been having relations with 3 trainees. 3. Like, where do they find the time to be able to Sharma's question, pull them out of instruction and whatever, car, house, dare I say house or whatever? Where do they have the time to do that? I don't
Yeah.
know.
And some is just easy as it could have been a day. It could have been for a week. It could have been when they're in their last week of training. They got all that freedom, base lib. You remember that?
Could be.
So, you don't know when. It's not saying it happened every week throughout training. It just says 3 trainees. It could have all been in, during their last week when they have, what they have. That's when our TIs used to do it, or those TIs was when you have, what's that lib called when you get to go off base? It's not base
Liberty?
lib. I guess it's just liberty. You have like 2 days you're supposed to go with family. But you remember, if no family comes, you're supposed to just go out with your friends, right? Go out with your other trainees.
And
Yeah. Well, some of these people be like, make those connections and be like, hey, when you're on base lib or whatever it's called, or even base lib, when you're on base lib, I'll come pick you up. We can go to the house. Or when you're on Liberty, where you can go outside and be out there for 6-7 hours, and you don't have to check in at all, do it then.
So this begs the question. He's being charged. What's happening? What's being done to the trainees involved?
And I mean, this is just like sexual assault.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at the charge. It doesn't mention sexual assault. It mentions like an inappropriate relationship, adultery.
No, well, they're going to say they're being taken advantage of. I mean, that's really what they're going to say. You could give as many briefs as you want, but everybody will look at it and say this person was the higher ranking one. I mean, these other people didn't have a rank at all. So you're the higher ranking one. You're in the position of authority. So these airmen, they're almost looking at them as victims.
So I guess what I'm getting at,
I get what you're getting at. Yeah. Go ahead though.
So it's no different than, I compare it to like I said before, like a DUI. If you have somebody that's driving under influence, you in the side seat, you're going to get it too. So these trainees, unless it is a charge of sexual assault or rape, they should be dealt with too. And yes, it's the same as unprofessional relationship. He's the senior ranking. He should get the worst of the punishment, which I'm sure he will. But the trainees, they were briefed on what is not accepted, and they did it anyway. So they should be dealt with. Now, they probably won't get as, like I said, nowhere near as severe as him.
So would you just
But
kick
then
him
not
out?
only that, huh?
Would you just kick him out?
No,
We didn't waste no
no,
money on him.
no. I mean, they would at the least they get a 15.
No, I
They would
mean,
definitely, because it's a failure to obey order regulation. So if you're looking at the senior ranking getting the worst of it, I mean, he faces a charge of confinement for a year. That like I personally think, in my opinion, he should be confinement, bad conduct, discharge. Bottom line. There should be no. Sharma says, remember at one point they were working such long hours they slept at BMT. Yeah. No
yeah.
work-life balance, and it was speculated. This is what precipitated the unprofessional behavior. Great point, Sharma.
Yeah.
I think at some point, this is, again, that doesn't mean nothing has happened since 2013. For some reason, this one came to light. It's probably been happening, maybe, I don't know. But in this case, there needs to be an example made. If it's true and this dude is found guilty, he needs to be confinement, bad conduct discharge, and pay some money.
I don't mind
The
that.
trainees involved, to me, in at least Article 15, maybe UIF control roster. And then it needs to be public. In other words, people need to know. Now, does that mean it will never happen again? No. But at least it's a step in the right direction. Maybe they already do it. I don't know.
And remember this for everybody who's watching and going to watch later. If he's found guilty, right? Because right now he's innocent, right? So let's get that out there first and foremost. If he's found guilty. The question that I beg to you is, and then we'll move on subjects. If he's not guilty, what do you do with him?
Good question. Very good question.
That's the
Before
difficult part.
I answer that, I was talking to my bride earlier. If this was a civilian court, how can you get him? You know what I mean? Like, if the charge is a sexual relationship, you would have to have evidence.
Right.
Unless, like, it's their word against his. So, one, just bear with me here. If you have a third party that's not involved with it and says, I know, I'm just saying, using your example, Sergeant Peterson.
Don't use me as example. Thank you. That's crazy.
Sergeant Jones. Sergeant Jones slept with Airman Basic Robinson. I know it. Then they'd be like, where's your proof? Because he told me. That's not enough.
Correct.
I saw them. Okay,
enough.
you were a witness. You got pictures, video, some audio, whatever, right? And so it's pretty much their word against the accused. And the military is different. They gather all the information, and if it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, moves like a duck, even though we don't have proof now, it didn't happen. So I think it's going to be very difficult for him to escape this one, especially the piece with the adultery. That's going to be difficult. Now, to your point, let's say if he's found not guilty, what do we do with him? I think he cannot be an instructor again. Because here's the thing, even if he's not guilty, what was it about his conduct got him even implicated in something like that?
Yeah.
You cannot be it's almost like if you are a flight chief and there is a charge of abuse of power. And let's say they do the investigation, they say, you didn't abuse your power for doing blah, blah, blah. But if they have any indication that is something you did that kind of drove this, they can remove you just for that. And they may say, out of protection for you, we're going to remove you and go through some remedial training. He could never be an instructor again.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. This is interesting. And I'll say this, and if you want, we can move on. I think the reason why this is big is because remember when the Secretary of War got in the seat, he's like, oh, we're going to change basic military training. We want it to be more, all this flowery stuff is gone. War fighting. And then this happens. This is not good.
Yeah.
And shout out to the commander over the 37. I won't mention his name. He's a stand-up dude. The dude, I know him for a long time, especially his beautiful bride. One thing I know, him and his command chief, Chief Vaden, does not tolerate is this type of behavior. And I know if it's true, if he's found guilty, they're going to deal with him.
Mhm.
So this is not an indictment on their leadership. They're phenomenal. One of the best leaders I've ever met in my career. So it's not them. He's going to handle business.
All right.
Yep. All right, moving on. Speaking of the Secretary of War, let's talk about the recent announcement from the Secretary of War concerning folks who were discharged during the COVID vaccine mandates. Previously, he said if you were a person that was discharged because you didn't want to take the COVID vaccine and you wanted to come back, they would welcome you back in open arms. But you have to have a 4-year service commitment. Well, now he's changed it and he's lowered it to 2 years. So, and the deadline was extended to April 2027. So what does this mean? If you're one of the ones that refuse to take the COVID vaccine.
Today in this video, as we said.
Sorry, I got it queued up if you want to listen to it.
Lord have mercy. Okay,
Sorry
I
about
was say,
that.
what is this? The government after get me. Anyway, I'll let you play the video.
All right, let's play the video real quick. Let me get this up and running. Oh no, you can see exactly what we're doing right now. Want to see that? There you go. All right, let me give you access to it. Bing. Bang. All right, let's play the video.
I want to update you on our efforts to reinstate those service members who were unjustly forced out of the military during the COVID-19 panic. While I'm proud of our efforts over the past year, our obligations to make things right are not yet complete. I'm therefore extending the application of the department's reinstatement and return to service guidance established last April. The revised guidance will now apply to former service members, our warriors of conscience, who wish to return to service through April 1st of 2027. So we're extending this to make sure anybody that wants to take advantage of it has additional time to take advantage of it. Maybe you were waiting to see whether we meant it or not. We do. We hope you'll take a look. To further encourage the return of experienced and dedicated service members, effective immediately, the active service obligation for individuals returning to service under this guidance is now reduced from 4 years to 2 years. And this change reflects our confidence that returning members will make an immediate and positive impact and aligns our reinstatement policy with the needs of both the service members and the military services. Maybe for
All right, we stop it there. Does this not look AI to you?
Huh?
Does this not look AI to you? This almost doesn't look real to me.
Oh. Well, I mean, I looked up the story on multiple media platforms. It's true.
It's true, but I'd say when you look at the background, this
Yeah.
looks AI. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
What's your thought?
Yeah. I laugh.
He needs some milk.
Yo, like, there's a lot of things to say based on what we just listened to. Let's just, instead of me going on a tangent, let's first talk about this specific topic. So, you're saying, Secretary of War is saying, if you were a person that was discharged, because they call it, I love when he said, warriors of conscience. Now he's like, yo, when you come back, you ain't got to do 4 years. You just got to do 2 years. And we're going to extend it. So I did some research. So only 600 airmen are reviewed. This is part of 8,000 across DOD that was affected.
Okay.
So there's some people considering it or have considered it. The question I have for you is, why would he do this?
I think, did you read Dell's comment?
Oh, no.
Let me read it real quick.
Is it on YouTube? Oh, I see it. Yeah, you can go ahead and read it. I'm sorry.
Somebody said this is a call for volunteers to come back before getting voluntold to come back. I don't know if this is like going as far as a draft is going to happen, but that's kind of what it is. And like you said, the extension is what is funny. Like first it was only 4 years, or it's 4 years. Now it's 2 years. Hey, you only got to come back for a couple of years. Try it out. It's almost like leasing a car. Try it out. See if you still like it. You know, get back out. Like that's what it's like. And I wonder if it's only for specific AFSCs or just your AFSC that you left in. But I don't know. Whatever. Do what you can. Do what you can.
I don't know.
Do what you can. I mean,
bruh.
He said, I don't know. Whatever.
Hey, do what you can. If you need to get people in, man, do what you can. Do what you can. Hey, support the fight. And if you're one of those people that go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Sharma said, extension plus reduction in active duty service commitment equals lack of interest in those discharged desire to return.
I'm like, I don't know one person that got kicked out because of COVID and they're like, God, dog, I can't wait to get back in the fight. Because COVID was, 7 years ago?
Well, I mean, like I said, there's 600
that want to or that did.
That are being reviewed to come back.
What does being reviewed mean?
Which means they put in their application to come back.
Oh, okay. I mean, 600
based on what I found.
8,000?
They said 8,000 across the DOD were impacted. So right now, based on my research, 600 have made the call to try to come back.
So if we say 10% of 8,000 is 800, so we're about 8.5%.
Yeah.
Nah, that's good. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do with 600 people across the DOD. I mean, that's like, what, 100, there's 5 branches, so 100 and something people per branch. It's spaced out evenly. Dale Brown says, I'm curious if any religions out there have in process recruiters, sorry, in process any people that come back. Good point.
And Sharma, forgive me, I don't have a breakdown across the branches. I can look it up, but I don't have the specifics on that.
I'm sure most of them is the Army. There's no Space Force. I'm sure there's zero Space Force. I don't think Space Force was implemented.
Army, don't come after me.
I should say it. Or, hey.
Double kill.
Hey, I don't know.
He said it's probably just Army. Sean says, most definitely. Sorry to my Army brothers and sisters out there. I got to deal with Army. Come on.
Probably 8 Air Force people. Probably 8 or 9.
If it was 8 Air Force people, which career field you think it was from?
It wasn't security forces. I'll tell you where it was. I don't know if it was goddamn medical. I don't know if they're finance. Contracted. It was airfield maintenance. It wasn't security forces.
Yeah, I think they're doing this because of recruiting shortfalls, and I think obviously, with the war going on, they're trying to get more folks. Because he mentioned something in there about folks who are like experienced, which makes me wonder. Like, that's interesting that he said that experience, right? And then going back,
graduated basic training or
like you've had deployment experience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which goes to my point I was going to bring up is we haven't even finished the the issue of why they were discharged in the first place, it was a lawful order
Correct.
by the commander-in-chief at the time.
Correct.
And now you're going to turn around and say that lawful order wasn't lawful and allow them to come back. What about the folks who took the vaccine? Now, the folks who didn't, they would say we're dummies. Like, oh, you're a dummy. You took it. But last I checked, it was a lawful order.
Hold on. Didn't we pay these people?
Yeah, we did pay them.
I forgot about that.
You mean you talking about this current administration because they were discharged?
Well, didn't President Trump in his first administration pay these people like so much amount of money for coming back the first time? If they were kicked out for, I have to look that up. But if they were kicked out because of COVID, I thought he was giving them like 10 grand or something like that to come back in. Or whatever they lost, whatever amount of money, time they were out, that money that they lost, they were going to give them back. God, I remember something like that coming out. I just don't remember if it actually happened. But that would be interesting. I mean, if I didn't come back and all of a sudden I want to come back, like, wait, do I get paid like everybody else got paid? Oh, look, Sharma said that's right. Yeah, I thought so. You know, when Sharma gives me credit for something, it must be correct. Gotta be correct.
Let's see what I found here. Yeah, you're right. Trump orders back pay for vaccine refusers, raises questions, offers no clear path forward. I'm trying to find the exact amount. He said, oh, they promised them back pay.
Right.
So it depends on where they were at. So it was 8,200 service members total. So this, again, I know this kind of a dead issue. I don't think it's a dead issue because I'm a little salty about it.
Why are you salty?
Like, because when I raised my hand and took an oath, I said I would obey the orders of those who are appointed over me. Last I checked, it was a lawful order. And at the time, it was a pandemic. People were dying. So we were told in order to protect the service, we would take the COVID vaccine. And that's why I took it. Because, yes, there's a lot of things, those who are appointed over us, that we think to ourselves, is this a good idea? Or why are we doing this? I don't think this is a good idea. However, it's a lawful order. So what do? We execute the order, right? And so, based at the time, the Department of Health, the commander-in-chief said, hey, it's a great vaccine. No issues, we did it. But we had 8,000 people who decided they weren't going to follow orders. So what do? If I remember correctly, there were many chances for them to comply. They was like, hey, first you give them LOC, you give them LOR, blah, blah, blah. So some went through the gamut and they got discharged. So now we're going to turn around, have them come back pay them, then allow them to come back. What about the folks now who may find an order that's unlawful and they don't decide to execute it? Are they going to give the same opportunity? Because I would imagine there's probably a lot of stuff that's going on now people don't agree with. Won't say specific stuff. Does that mean they're going to get to, you know what I mean?
I know one dude that hasn't got a vaccine for religious accommodations, including COVID, and now he's a recruiter.
So, I mean, that's a little bit different. I mean, it's religious accommodation that they approve. It's not like he outright...
it hasn't been approved. Well, last time I checked.
Oh, so it wasn't approved?
Nope. It just was it was going through the process. But while it was going through the process, he never got it done.
Okay, so that's different.
Anyway, I won't steal our dirty laundry, but we'll just leave it like that.
I'll just say this, as I said before, this is a dangerous precedent. Dangerous. Last I checked, wasn't there a specific senator that
Mark Kelly
was... Yes, that was telling folks not to follow orders, right? Because he's, you know what I mean? So Isn't this the same thing?
Yeah, pretty close.
Right? I mean, I'm all for saying, hey, I don't think we should have kicked them out, but tell them that they were patriots, warriors of conscience, and allow them to come back and back pay them. I don't think that's right at all. Anyway, so final thing we can move on this one. Would you come back?
No, hell no.
Why not?
Wait.
They're like, hey, sorry, piece, you can come back. You can get your diamond. You can do your diamond chain, all that stuff. You wouldn't come back?
Ain't no I'm coming back. Nope, sorry.
Real quick, Sharman said he said to not follow unlawful orders. So then, thank you, because that hammers home my point. Who determines if they're unlawful? When those folks decided not to take the shot, they felt like it was unlawful.
It don't matter what you feel like. There's guidelines to know if something's lawful or not. It's nothing ethical or moral or legal. Unethical, excuse me. Immoral or illegal. So it's a lawful order. Just like if somebody says, go take the hill. But Sergeant, I'm going to die. I don't give a damn. Go take the hill. There's nothing unlawful or illegal or immoral about that.
I don't disagree with you. The point I'm trying to make is these folks that refuse to take the vaccine, their argument wasn't it was an unlawful order. And because of that, they went through the disciplinary process and eventually kicked out. But now, fast forward years later, the government said it was unlawful, at least from their perspective, and allowing them to come back. So when Senator Kelly says you have a duty to not follow unlawful orders, this goes back to what you just said. There's no such thing as an unlawful order when they're giving it to you at the time. Just because you think it's unlawful doesn't mean it's unlawful.
Well, there are some things that are unlawful. Like somebody says, "Go, I need you to eat shit. Go eat poop out the toilet." That's an unlawful order.
Very, it's an unusual analogy.
I'm just trying to think of something so
if
egregious.
They say kill a school full of kids, that
correct.
Kill prisoners. That's unlawful order. Well, then you take law of armed conflict.
Just using you as example.
Don't you remember the CBT?
Not everything
they didn't
gotta
say
be
anything
war.
about eating poop.
Not everything got to be war to be lawful or unlawful. You could give me, you could have gave me an unlawful order while you were still in, while we were just sitting at Luke Air Force Base. You could have been like, you're going to cut. Well, I guess that's not really unlawful. What if you said, you're going to pick me up at 10 o'clock and drive me to the BX? Is that an unlawful order? Is that unlawful?
Help me.
Is that unlawful?
I guess what I'm thinking is hilarious.
I just asked the question.
I'm just saying. Out of all the examples, you said eat poop.
We're way past that.
I'm sorry, what was your question? Repeat.
If you told me, Airman Peterson, at 10 o'clock, you're going to pick me up in your car and drive me to the BX, is that unlawful?
50-50. What? Drive you to the BX for what?
To go get food, go get lunch.
It could be a training session.
No, I just said to go get lunch.
It could be a training session. I mean, what if he's teaching the airmen how to be on time or to drive? I'm just saying.
This is why T.I.'s are in that scandal. This is why T.I.'s are in that scandal. Power.
I mean, isn't that possible?
This is why T.I.'s are in that scandal. Power.
I'm just geeking off the fact you use eat poop as
I'm just using an example. I mean, is that not unlawful?
Okay. What if it determined to have certain properties to save your life in combat?
I didn't say all that.
No, I'm just saying that's it. You said eat poop, right?
And then you're changing the parameters.
Maybe the COVID folks felt like COVID vaccine was like eating poop. My point is that there are specific things that says that is considered unlawful, but it can't cover everything. which leads, and then also, if I remember correctly, in the law of armed conflict, it does say that if you feel that is unlawful, what do? You go up your chain of command, you talk to the IG or whatever, right? So this is the same case. Davis P9624 from YouTube. What's up, brother? Alexa, play Power by Kanye West. I actually like that song. Thanks for the comment, brother. No, Alexa. Y'all messing with my Alexa over here.
Yo, you know what? You know what's funny? Now that he just said that.
Now it's playing on my side. Alexa, stop. Thanks a lot, David P96.
Screen for the haters. Have a nice read to it. I guess I received. What did he say? Something about one man with all this power.
You asking me?
Yeah, I was looking it up because he said, what happens when one man has all this power? I'm trying to find him with the light-skinned girls and the white man. Say goodbye to Cobra. I see you more than. No one man should have all this power. This clock's ticking. I just count the hours. Stop tripping. I'm tripping off the power. Till then, F it. The world's ours. That's a great example of power. Great example.
Okay. All right. Moving on. So, one of the interesting things talking about COVID, when we went through the pandemic, remember, most folks had to stay home to avoid infecting other people. And so we had to do a lot of things to kind of compensate that. You know, Saturday Night Live was doing shows without crowds. The WWE was putting digital
NBA,
crowds in the audience.
NBA went to the bubble.
Yeah, WNBA went to the bubble, which
NBA.
Fair point. I mean, interesting point. What was the team? The Lakers that won that year? Is an asterisk around that. I don't count that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. So the other thing is, which was huge, folks were working from home. People got used to working at home, said it was more effective. And then when President Biden got in the office, he said he wants everybody to come back to work. And then it started going all the way around. But there are some offices and organizations that still allow some work variance. But for the most part, most people should be back to work. Well, what happens when you really want to stay at home because you have a medical condition and your employer says no? Well, that's what happened with this story. A company by the name of TQL, aka Apex Logistics LLC. Yep. Plaintiff Brittany Watts wanted a work variance so she can work home remotely because she was pregnant. She was a high-risk pregnancy. She asked her employer if she can get a work variance, and her employer said no. Said she had to still come to work. The employer denied the request. Well, unfortunately, because of that, well, I won't say because of that. I'll just say she continued to come to work, and she ran into some complications with her pregnancy. And unfortunately, when she gave birth, it was prematurely, and unfortunately, her child, Aiden Watts, passed away. Her doctor says it was due to the issues with the pregnancy, which was partly contributed from her having to come to work.
Mm.
So when she asked for the work variance, she gave a note from her doctor saying, hey, due to her issues with her pregnancy, I recommend that she works at home. But the employer said no. Well, she sued the company. And about a week ago, they settled in court, or was ruled against the company, that they would have to pay her $2.25 million because they wouldn't allow her to do remote work. Your thoughts?
Lawsuits are ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's all I'll say. Lawsuits in general are ridiculous. Do I think the company stood on business and they say, yo, you can't work from home. You need to come in. If you don't like it, quit. I mean, that's more or less the military mindset. It's just lawsuits in general are crazy. That's my thought process. There's no way in the world that you lost $2.25 million. If they want to say we're going to pay you back, pay from if they stop paying her from when they stop paying her till now and give her job back and let her remote work. Okay, cool. $2.25 million.
Well, in fairness, the $2.25 million probably because she lost her child.
There's not enough money in the world to replace that.
But it helps, right?
That's the bad.
I mean, how do you put a dollar amount? How do you put a dollar amount? Well, let me ask you this. Let me just ask you this. So you're saying that since she won, they should only pay her back pay. That's it. Like the child shouldn't even be factored in?
The pain and suffering? Is that what it's considered?
Yeah.
And they're saying because
and wrongful death.
Because that she was stressed out is the reason that is there any way she was not going to have this baby or was going to have this baby if she was allowed to remote work? 100% chance.
I don't follow. Forgive me.
So the baby died because she couldn't remote work.
That contributed to it, yes.
So 100% chance if she was allowed to remote work, the baby would have still been alive.
Well, I can't say 100%.
And that's my thing. It's like, I can't say this contributed to that.
Well, I will tell you, initially, I almost somewhat had the same thought process as you until I was reminded by my wife that there are certain labor laws that exist that states that if you have a disability or a medical issue, that the company should consider that before making a decision in cases like this. I don't know what the remote policy was at that organization, but I think the key is that when they presented the case, they felt like this doctor's note that was given to the organization, they didn't consider it. And because of that, it was a contributor to her losing her child during birth. And if she was at home, she would have had the right amount of support she needed to help ensure the successful birth of her child.
Yeah, I think I look at this two ways. Sharma just said they should pay, period, a temporary work accommodation, ? Does sound like she had a work where it wasn't conducive for her to work from home or work from her to work from home. Yeah. That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, you just put a price on a child of $2.25 million. Is basically what you did. And the loss of how much ever you were getting paid. If it was for like 3 years that she wasn't getting paid, okay, I could see that. But you just became a multimillionaire overnight. I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot. But to me, lawsuits have gotten out of control with the amount of money you could win. I think they always been out of control, but they try to factor one thing that leads to another, and those two things just never make sense to me. And Sharma said, but she lost a child.
My point
I get
exactly.
it. You can't say because she remote work that is the sole reason that she lost a child. You could say it could have been a factor, but God dog, you could say because you had the AC pumping in your house was a factor. You could say because the clothes you were wearing was a factor. I mean, you could, with that logic, anything could be a fact. Usually there's no one thing, and I'm not a woman, I never had a child, why you lost a child. And there's no way any doctor can prove because you weren't allowed to go to work. Zero way. Or because you had to go to work. Unless the work that you were doing was so labor intensive that it caused that child to die because you were lifting heavy things or stuff like that. Then I get it. But that wasn't said in this case. Never said what she did. If you were just at a sit-home desk job, or not sit home, but sit desk job. Now, if she had to lift heavy things, walk a lot, now I get it. I'll shut up and I'll say, yep, 100%. But they never said that the work she was doing contributed 100% to why the baby died. It's crazy that that's factored in. Crazy.
So Sharma says in this economy, not everyone can just leave a job or go into leave without pay. LW.
Said, but the unknowns are the work conditions. Yep. There's a reason why many female service members go on half days or bed rest during pregnancies.
Mhm.
Yep, I agree
Yep.
with that. So that's what I'm saying. If you tell me that her job was the reason why, 100%, I'm with it. I'm good. But if you can't say that, then it's almost like you could say anything. Oh, I didn't get the amount of sleep I needed because you didn't let me work from home. Oh, I had to drive extra, so you didn't let me work from home. It could be freaking anything. It says she had a doctor's note, Pete. Yeah, I get the doctor's note. I do. I understand the doctor's note. But I don't know if it's like in the military, doctor's just a recommendation. I don't know.
I think one thing I think you should consider is, yes, there's no way to determine if because she didn't get to go and do remote work that it contributed to the unfortunate death of her child. However, she had, to Sharma's point, yeah, she had a doctor's note, and we don't know what the labor laws was in Ohio. And not only that,
Good point.
when they went to trial, a trial that had people on the jury found in favor of the plaintiff. So whatever evidence that was presented wasn't enough to determine that because she didn't get this work variance to go work at home contributed to the death of the child. Maybe it was stress, maybe it was the traveling back and forth to work,
You said
the work
they settled.
environment.
You said they settled, so nothing was proven. Nothing. They weren't found guilty. You said they
Okay,
settled.
no, I'll take it back. They didn't settle. It was a ruling of $2.25 million.
Okay.
And I don't know what they asked for. They could have asked for $200 million. Maybe they only awarded her $225. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think the key was missing is the labor laws. Sharma says, well, since they didn't heed the doctor recommendation, they should pay.
But
I can't
million?
Sharma, I can't quite get around that because just because the doctor says it should not be the end all be all decision, it should factor in heavily to it. But one thing I'm missing is I don't know what the labor laws are in Ohio or in that company policy. Let's just put it this way. Let's just assume that the type of work she was doing was at a desk. And maybe the doctor said she needs additional rest because she's high risk pregnancy.
I am hung up on that amount.
I think that if she's effective at home, let her work at home.
True.
I don't see what the issue is. It's one thing if, like case in point, let's say if you work in a vault or, classified area and you have to have access to classified material, you can't work at home.
True.
You can't take that stuff at home.
Right.
But if she's doing regular word processing stuff at work and she has a note from the doctor, because remember, HIPAA, it's not like the doctor can tell them everything.
Right.
But if you're willing to share all of your medical stuff and the doctor's signing off on it, I would think 9 times out of 10, you probably think it's legit. What's the harm in meeting her halfway and says, okay, fine. During your pregnancy, you can have remote work. And then we would discuss you coming back. But sound like they didn't even do that.
Yeah. And
but I do agree, $2.25 million is a lot of money.
And that's why I'm hung up on the amount. And I also say this is a pretty well-known company. It's not like it's Amazon or Google, right? Because then it would probably been like $25 million. But anyway, I figured they dealt with this before. I wouldn't think this is the very first time. I could be wrong, but this is the very first time they ever dealt with this. I'm pretty sure HR knows the labor laws. Now, in this instance, they were wrong. Regardless if they settled, regardless if they were found guilty, something happened where they were wrong. Maybe it's just the people that were on the jury or the judge, if it wasn't a jury trial, the judge who looked at it, the case they presented. But $2.25 million, yeah, I'm really hung up on that. I'm cool with them back paying her and giving her a job back if she was fired. I'm cool with that. $2.25 million is effing ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not ridiculous from the person in McDonald's a long time ago who spilled the coffee on him and got like $15 million. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Them lawsuits are
ridiculous.
Lawsuits are ridiculous. ridiculous.
Yeah. And that's why you see these lawsuits where they ask for $500 million, ridiculous amount of stuff.
Ridiculous. I'm like, I'm cool with certain things that happen that you want to be a millionaire overnight and you never want to work again. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
This one doesn't seem like it fits it for me.
Sharma says, as someone who's birthed children, the workplace can cause undue stress and impact a pregnancy. They could have done a better job in attempting to accommodate the request. They were wrong, and the outcome was loss of life. They should have to pay more. And she also says, I wouldn't want to work there after the fact. That's a great point. I wouldn't want to work there.
The second one's a great point. The first one, I kind of disagree with the last thing she said, saying that they were wrong and the outcome was a loss of life. If they can prove to me 100% this was the only factor that contributed to that.
But I would argue contributed to it still is just as bad. There's no way of saying, yeah, I mean, my thing is if you're saying they need to show, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying, make you sound like you're saying 100% from them making that decision caused death of her child. There's no way of knowing it outside of, like you said, if she carried a box and she went into labor, right?
Right.
But you can't say 100% that because if they would have, let me get my thoughts together. Either way you look at it, you can't say
100% one way, you can't say 100% the other way. I'm good with that, but I'm also not paying $2.25 million because of that.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they care for 2.2.
That's where it's like, if I break my leg and we work at, I'm a security guard, and the job of security guard is standing up, and I come to you as my employer and says, hey, DC, I can't stand up, man. I broke my leg. Here's my doctor note. And you'd be like, nope, you're going to stand up anyways. And then a blood clot happens and I lose my leg. Okay, that makes sense. That's 100% factor. Because you made me come to work, because you made me stand up, I developed a blood clot when I had a broken leg. Makes sense.
My friend, I think that's similar, though. I see it. Let me tell you,
this one, there's no way to prove that the loss of life was because you worked, unless, and we don't know this, the child, like if you're around radiation or something like that, okay, that makes sense. You could probably say 90%, maybe 80% was the cause. Unless you did the autopsy on the unborn baby, depending on how many weeks it was. Like, this is crazy. $2.25 million. $2.25 million.
Yeah, I would imagine, I don't know, I was going to look it up. I would imagine the plaintiff lawyers presented information, maybe from a physician, that said because she was unable to work at home, type of stress she experienced, the physical issues with her sitting at a desk.
I would have asked for $10 million.
You know, huh?
No, Sharma said I would have asked for $10 million.
Hey, they probably asked for more than that. I was trying to look that up. Yeah, they probably did. They just, but they, I'm sure they presented evidence to justify that this contributed to the death of her child.
All right. Well, we can move on.
Anyway, I guess the only thing I would say quickly is this begs the question for other folks because even at my last job, there were people that still was dead set against coming back to work, and they put in work variances to stay at home because they, whatever. So I think this sets a precedent too. Like, if you say, like, my doctor says that I've got a sore throat, I should stay home and work from home. What happens if you don't allow them to?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's interesting.
Shout out security forces.
Yeah. I can't work the gate because I stubbed my toe.
Well, I guess you're sitting at the desk.
Yeah.
You're still going to come to work. We'll find something for you to do.
All right. So let's talk about a fun topic.
Yeah.
Being that both of us has transitioned to the civilian side, we start working, or we dealing with civilians, it's hard to shake the different things you learn in the military, such as terminology and jargon. And so, what are some things that military folks tell civilians that civilians don't understand because they never served?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of words and phrases that we use. And when you think about it, there's a crap ton of them that you use every day. And that it's funny. I think about it. Like if I told a civilian boss, like, hey, Dominic, I need you to come over here, tracking. They'd be like, what? Or, hey, we got a meeting at 10 o'clock. Roger that. I think Roger that's more universal. They probably get it. But tracking, I don't think that's one. Or who. Who is a good one. Like, what did you just say? Like, who? What about Blue Falcon?
Why would you use Blue Falcon?
If you have somebody that's a snitch in the office.
I've never, ever used Blue Falcon.
Never.
Never. I don't even know what never heard of Blue Falcon. We just say snitch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a Blue Falcon.
7 Bridges, you know, I can see that.
7 Bridges.
Blue Falcon.
First of all,
Where'd
if you
you
use
get Blue
7
Falcon
Bridges,
from
I'm
anyway?
like, that's like a snitch. Like, yo, there go Blue Falcon.
Like, I get it, but where'd you get that terminology from? Blue Falcon.
That's just this. She said I never used Blue Falcon.
Thank you. Nor have I.
Okay.
This is a peak.
Does that mean that it doesn't be used because you two never used it?
I wish somebody else would chime in because I've never heard, we got our Blue Falcon in this office.
You don't say it like that. It's more or
How
less
do you
about
say it?
it's a one-on-one conversation. Like, yo,
Okay, give us an example.
So if me and you are talking and Chris is over there, I'd be like, yo, Chris is Blue Falcon, man. Don't talk to him.
Okay, so I would tell you this. As a defender, you said 7 Bridges. Strictly a defender would understand that. But I've never, ever, ever heard of Blue Falcon. Never.
Interesting. Okay.
Never.
Okay.
Again, I asked, where'd you get Blue Falcon from? Was that like a base specific terminology?
No.
Or
This
what?
is an army, more or less an army terminology, which is weird because it's called Blue Falcon. But
Gene,
yeah,
what's going on? I heard it, but I just say snitch. Thank you. I agree.
Thank
I
you,
never heard of
Gene.
Blue Falcon.
Thank you, Gene, for
They
being
even made you
honest.
would say snitch. We got a Blue Falcon, and they'd be like, "What the hell is that?"
Maybe you were the Blue Falcon, and that's why you never heard of
Maybe,
it.
but they wouldn't say Blue Falcon. They would say
Maybe.
snitch.
Well,
They would
maybe
probably
you
say
were the
snitch,
Blue
not Blue Falcon.
Has anybody ever called you a Blue Falcon?
Again, most people listening to this would probably say again, "What the hell is a Blue Falcon?"
Has anybody ever called you
They
that?
probably look at you like, "What the hell is this dude talking about?"
Has anybody
Blue
ever called you
Falcon.
that?
When
Okay.
I think of Blue Falcon, you know, when you said Blue Falcon, I think of some old like a cartoon. Blue Falcon. We got a Blue Falcon in here. I'm thinking like, is that a
You
cartoon?
were probably the Blue
You know what I mean? What the hell?
That's why you changed the word so that person don't know they're a snitch. Anyway.
Sounds like a duress word. If you said it was a duress
Hey,
word, I can
another
say
thing, duress word. That's another phrase. Duress word. People be looking at you
I
like,
think
what the hell?
I think the civilian equivalent to that is safe word.
Is it okay? I never heard safe word.
You
Instead,
never heard of a safe word.
The only way I heard of it is in pornos. That's it.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That's
but
it. That's the only time I ever heard of the word.
y'all
the
chime in the
phrase safe
comments
word.
if y'all heard the term safe word. If you
I've
feel like
heard it,
somebody's about
but
to
the
snatch
only
you
time
up.
I heard it is like when something is like if you went too far sexually, you'd be like pineapple, like or something. Look, Charmin said pineapple. Exactly.
No, she's making fun of you because you said pineapple.
We didn't
That's a
just
safe
say it
word.
exactly the same time. That didn't just happen. It's a relatively known safe word. It's pineapples.
Pineapples is a
It's a-
relatively.
It is a joke that Kevin Hart did. I think it was
Oh,
Kevin Hart.
I
Maybe
see.
it was Cat Williams, but one of the two. Yeah, Gene, am I lying? Gene, I might be funny, but am I lying? That's the question. Anyway, safe word. Don't use that when you go to work. Like, what's the safe words? Hey, you gonna get fired the same time.
Okay, genius. Tell me what else? What other thing you would say besides safe word? What would you say?
I don't know. The rest
What would you
word is
say?
the only thing I know.
Again, The topic is military to civilian translation. If I'm going to tell someone, a coworker, you're going out, I'm going out on a date with this gentleman. If something happens to me, what should I do? Okay, you got to tell me some way that you're in trouble.
Yes.
Let's use a safe word.
No, don't say that.
Okay, again, what would you say?
Use a word or phrase that only I could pick up on that nobody. So, like, here's an
not
example.
a safe word?
Here's an example. No,
Is
it's not
that
called,
not a
it's
safe
not
word?
Called, it's
Yes,
not
it is.
called safe word. Don't
What
say
is
that.
it called?
It's just
What
a
would
phrase.
you say
Let me
again?
tell you.
What would
I'm
you
telling
say?
you. Stop hitting that button.
I'm waiting.
I'm telling you. It's just
Okay.
a word. I would tell you, Philly, if I say a word or phrase and I would make up a word or phrase, that means that I'm in trouble.
Okay, so you would, so you know what? Let me omit you.
Why?
Chat. For those who are in the chat, tell me if someone says, "Hey, if something happens to me, I need to warn you," and you say, "All right, we need to come up with some type of safe word," would you immediately think they're talking about a sexual encounter that went wrong?
The rest word or word of the day in the cop terminology, I hear talking to some cop friends I have. No, Gene, if you don't have cop friends, if you're going to Amazon and you're in duress, how would you tell them that this is a duress word without using the word duress? Sharma says no.
No, you said, Sharma, you says no, you wouldn't say safe word?
No.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking Sharma.
okay,
Sharma,
okay.
would you say safe word no? And if so, why?
That's just
What
Pete living
what
that
is it
life.
about the word or terminology safe word that makes it uncomfortable? That's just Pete living that life. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to, that's why exactly I'm trying to tell. He is the only one I knew that got triggered when I said safe word.
That's not the correct terminology.
Which makes me wonder, to your point, Sharma, what is he doing outside of this show? Exactly.
I'm very well
I didn't
cultured.
think of it that way.
I'm very well cultured.
That's debatable.
Could be company protocol. And safe word is not sexual
Thank
to
you.
me.
Thank you. I rest my
That's
case.
the only time that
I
is
rest
used.
my case. Everybody, hey, y'all heard it here first.
Oh
Somebody
my God. I want to ask
is
chat.
suspect.
Let me ask chat.
Suspect.
Let me go
ain't
temporary
me.
use because I want chat to know what's going on.
It ain't me. I'm just saying. But moving on. Let's move on to some other terms that will most likely be used. Now that, hey, what's up, Pooh? That's my son in the chat. What's up, Pooh? What's up, man? What's up? He says, nah, that Kevin Hart skit was everywhere, though, in his defense. Now, Pooh, before I move on to Sharma joint, let me ask you a question. Pooh, when I say, hey, man, I'm going to be flying to Japan. If something happens to me, I need to give you a safe word. Just make sure I'm good. Would you immediately think I'm talking about a sexual encounter going wrong?
No, not when you give it all those context behind it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying from the beginning.
Can I finish? If I say, hey, Philly, here's the duress words for the day, you automatically know if I use the duress words.
If I'm military.
Can I finish?
You're not making no sense. Get to the point. Make sense then.
If I say, Philly, here's the duress words for the day, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Again, I'm waiting because that don't make sense. We're talking about military to civilian.
Yes.
If I'm military, yes.
Yes. Okay. So if I'm civilian and I say, Philly, here's the duress words of the day, you're going to be like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what a duress word is. And I'll be like, well, Philly, here's the safe word of the day. I'll be like, safe word? What's wrong with you?
And you're not, again, this is where you went wrong. You first went in with the duress word. Then you said, well, here's the safe word of the day. That makes no sense. If you would have said, and even then it doesn't make sense, you'd be like, hey, if something goes wrong with me, here's the duress word.
I don't have to
and
say
you say,
that.
I don't know what a duress word is. Well, here's a safe word to tell you something went wrong with me. Then I can see your argument. But even then it wouldn't make sense. And to Pooh's point, he says right there, no, laughing my A off, Not at all. That's just you. You need
What's
to get
not-
your head examined.
What's
Get
not at
yourself,
all?
get yourself out of the gutter.
Wasn't Pete
Look,
also
man,
said
where you at?
those kinds of words are in films. Yeah, they are.
But that don't mean that every civilian person, again, you know what, Sharma, I'm glad you said this because this is going to hammer home my point.
Oh my God.
Sharma, you said, Pete also said those kind of words are in film.
Pornos.
Think, who in here is watching these pornos? I rest my case.
I see the porno
It ain't
ones.
me.
I see
I
pornos
see what
before.
somebody else is doing on their
I seen
retired time.
pornos
It ain't
before.
me.
I'm
It
a
ain't
grown
me.
man. I think pornos before.
It ain't me.
If
Okay,
y'all
well,
ain't grown enough, that's
let's just
fine.
move on because
Yes,
we
please.
ain't gonna agree on this.
All
'Cause
right.
Let's just move on.
What about
Let's talk about some real words that people would do, like case
what
in point.
about
And I'm going to use
voluntold?
them. And hold on,
Oh.
you said yours. Can I give some of mine?
Sure.
All right, good. Thank you. Now, I'm gonna use them in a sentence to give you an example. I'm telling my civilian boss. She says, "You already use tracker, so I won't use that." Hey, hey Dana, we got this meeting tomorrow on base to discuss the military 2-gen system. Do you think you have everything already worked out and you're prepared? Oh, no worries. I'm squared away.
Squared away. Squared away is a good one.
Means
Squared
prepared.
away is a good one.
Or my favorite, hey guys, Dana, you got a comment? Yes. Let me just piggyback on what so-and-so said.
Yeah.
That means to add on.
Piggyback is a good one. Piggyback is a good one.
I'll give one more and then I'll pause. You can continue with yours. You know what, Dana, we need to hire somebody to assist you in the program. We're looking at Dominic Peterson. Do you think he's going to be adequate, good enough to put in a position? Oh, I know, Pete. He's high speed.
High speed.
Top
High
performer.
speed. Yes, high speed's a good one. High speed's a good one. I think, like I said, if you ever say, hey, the boss asked me to do something, like, oh, you were voluntold. I don't think that's a very well used civilian term, voluntold.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the same thing when the boss tells you to do something. Listen to my wife's meetings. Military slang is, I missed it, coming prevalent in the workplace. Pieces high speed, I'm calling cap. Charmin, see, this is what I'm talking about. You a hater. I was going to hit the other button. I hit that button. Piggyback is the worst. Yeah, piggyback is the worst. What is another thing?
I have one that I've guilty of use already.
Here we go.
Mr. Counsel, you say that if you got hired for this position, you said you would come up with a plan in order to make the system better. How would you do it? Well, first I would need to determine what the battle rhythm is every week.
Now that's crazy.
Once I figure that's schedule. So,
I know what battle rhythm is.
no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying
Oh,
for the viewers,
okay.
yes.
Yeah. Or if you say BATNA's civilian terms, that's more or less civilian terms than military terms.
Battle rhythm?
BATNA, the BATNA.
Tell everybody what BATNA is.
I think it's the best outcome, something at the workplace. Let me look it up. I think it's best something.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I'll do one more. Hey, Mr. Counsel, you said that the military gen system is closely related to Strong Families coaching program. So I think what I need to do is join you during the event to make sure that we're all in line. No, what you need to do is stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Yeah,
That's
stay in your lane.
Know your role.
Yeah, know your role.
Gene says Pete out here making stuff up.
Okay, that's fine. So this tells you the education levels of some of our listeners right here, and which is fine. BATNA, best alternative to negotiated agreement. There you go.
No, I'm just saying, let's be honest. I'm not saying this term isn't known in the civilian sector, but how many people actually use it in a daily sense?
The BATNA?
Yes, the BATNA.
I heard it a few times. I'm surprised you ain't heard it.
Never heard it. Not in a sense. Give me an example of when you heard it. Give us an example.
So when you're talking about something, basically like a plan B.
Yeah, give us an example. Say it in a sentence.
So if plan A doesn't work, BATNA is gonna be blah blah blah. Or my BATNA is blah blah blah. It's almost like my plan B.
I've never heard of someone. To be honest, it's not like I know everything, but
thank you.
I don't see someone saying BATNA, substituting BATNA for plan B.
That's exactly what it means.
So plan B means BATNA.
Or BATNA means plan B. Yep. It's usually
so you mean to tell me
it's usually used when you're negotiating something.
So that's my point. What is the chances of someone using BATNA in a conversation versus plan B or an alternative solution?
It just where their head is at. If they want to sound more educated or that they know more stuff than other people.
Okay, I'll yield.
I can't wait till you get to work and be like, hey, Mr. Counsel, what's your BATNA? And now you'd be like, oh, shit.
I would give you $50. I would give you $50. I want everybody here. I would give you $50 if someone tells me that.
I can't wait to get paid. I can't wait to get paid. I can't wait to get paid.
No one. And if you're in the chat and you agree with me, put a Y in there for yes. That no one will ever use BATNA in a normal conversation.
Okay.
Maybe in a briefing, but not in a normal conversation.
No, that's usually where it's for. It's for when you're negotiating something. It's not going to be just
even
hey, Philly, do you want to drive?
I'm sorry.
Do you want to drive or BATNA? I can drive. Nobody's going to say that. 100%. 110% nobody's going to say that.
Thank you. And the chat agrees with me. Even in a negotiation, no one's going to use the term BATNA to substitute for plan B or alternative solution. No one. Maybe you might see it in a document. Maybe you might see it in an instruction or an email, but never in a conversation. You know what? If you guys don't go this route, or if they don't go this route, I think our BATNA is to do this. No one's going to say that.
Interesting.
Come on, man.
Interesting how I know it. How did I learn it then?
Just because you learn it don't mean people are going to use it. I dare you. I want to be a fly on the wall. When you do a negotiation, you say, well, on the other hand, if we don't go this route, our BATNA is, I would love for you to do that.
I would do, you know what? Next negotiation thing, I'm just going to do that just because.
Before you do it, FaceTime me so I can watch it.
I will. And put yourself on mute because it's a serious conversation.
I'm going to die laughing.
I can't wait. It just shows me how many negotiation times
I'll put it to you this way. Oh, I guarantee you I've been in more negotiations than you. No. I guarantee you that.
No, you can't say that. You can't
maybe
say
perhaps, yes, I can, because maybe perhaps
say that.
Your idea of negotiation is different than mine.
Okay.
Everything is a negotiation. If I'm going to a company or if I'm going to another chief or a commander and I'm trying to negotiate a plan of action in order to get to a certain outcome, that is a negotiation. When you have two partners, have two different opposing views, and they're trying to meet in the middle, or one's trying to get the other. That is a negotiation. So I guarantee you I've been in much more than you have, and I will tell you I have never used BATNA.
Interesting. Why are you still, I don't know. Can you explain what that button means?
It's a side joke.
I don't know who gets it.
I think, I'll put it like this. If I tell you, then you may not understand. So I think the other way of doing it is maybe consider a BATNA.
That's not how that's used. That's not how that's used.
Moving on.
Can you tell me what that button means?
I think that's more, it's a side joke. I can't tell you. You gotta look it up.
I don't even know what he's saying.
You mean this?
Yes.
It's a side joke.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Sharma
You
says,
tell me.
says use Batner.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to, but I don't even know what he's saying.
Nah, don't worry about it. It's a side joke. Anyway,
But if
moving
nobody
on.
gets the side joke, who's laughing?
That's the whole point. It's a side joke.
For who?
Well, apparently you, because you don't want to ask it.
So if nobody else gets it, either nobody else cares.
That's the whole point of a side joke. It's funny because the person that's being the joke on doesn't understand.
I don't
what
know
everybody
if it's being,
else does.
you used this 77 times today. I don't even know when it's being used and when it's not. So I don't understand. I don't
78
understand.
times.
I don't understand what it means. I'm just trying to ask for clarification.
Who says we need a button to button?
We do.
Good idea.
At least that would make more sense than the button. So like if I hit a button, everybody knows what that means. It's universal. So if I use something in the chat and I want everybody to understand, like if I hit probably means I was cursing. Everybody understands that. You're using buttons that only apparently you or whatever fa means understands.
Well, here's the great thing about this. Apparently, I'm not the only one that understands because I see Pooh understands what it is.
No.
So
no.
if you're in the chat and you know what this means,
he just says,
put Y in the chat.
Yeah, he just says that's what they're saying. But he don't know what it means.
If y'all know what it means, put Y in the chat.
What does fa mean?
There you go. Now you can find what the side joke means.
You know what? I'm almost curious to see if you know.
I know what that means.
You're not
Gene
Gen
know what
Z.
it means.
You're not
Who
Gen
knows
Z.
what it means? You know, I'm getting wins all over the place today. I'm getting wins all over the day.
Gene, tell me what it means, because the way you're using it is not the way Google says what it means. It means what the hell or oh no. That's what Google's telling me. So in case I'm wrong, it just means what the hell or oh no. It's like dropping an F-bomb. But the way you're using it doesn't make no sense. Like if I say, hey guys, I'm broke today. Doesn't make no sense. Up on his age. Hey, I sure am.
That's right.
Because I don't understand what that means. Or if I say, you know what? Let's go ahead and open up a new door. That's how you're using that. It doesn't make no sense. Like, what'd you hit that button for? So I just need it to make sense. But now that I know what it means, I just want it to make sense. I just want it to make sense.
All right.
That's it.
Moving on. G. Harris, Uncle Pete. Laugh out loud. All right, moving on.
That's not where that goes. That means oh no.
Thank you, Pooh. Thank you.
No. See, exactly.
Pooh comment.
That's exactly my point. You don't know what it means. You're not even using it. If you were using it correctly, I would know what it means.
Giovanni Counsel's comment. That would help you.
Like when you're dissing, that's not what Google said. That's not what Google said. It means oh no or what the hell. So it's almost like when he said Unc Pete, LOL, you hit that like, what the hell are you saying that for? That's not true. That's where that would go. I'm glad we got that out. Dad who stubs his toe.
If you read Giovanni's comment, that will assist you.
Well, why are there two different comments?
Like when you dissing somebody, do you see it right there?
That's not what Google says.
It doesn't matter what Google. So Google is the end up. Hey guys.
It doesn't matter what Google says. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So when you
extra read all about it. This individual that's talking on the other end has a degree and he concentrates on Google and he believes everything Google says. Just want to let you guys know that. There you have it.
No, you said it doesn't matter what Google says. So it never matters what Google says.
This is a good show today.
Oh my goodness.
It's a rundown.
I can't wait till you say I
Apparently
Google
somebody, only one person that's listening on the show today
on videos.
Safe word is a pornographic word. And they don't know what file means. This is good.
It can be used.
See, Pooh says it could be a myriad of things, though, mainly on videos of wild stuff that happened or memes.
Interesting. I don't remember anything.
That's what I've been saying the whole. Well, I didn't say
I don't know any memes that we showed. Does anybody remember any memes?
Perhaps
put a Y in the chat. Put a Y in the chat if you seen a meme on this show. Put a Y in the chat.
I bet you're going to see a bunch of Ys. Tell us.
Me?
Or better yet, let me rephrase the question.
No,
if there is anything on the show that could be a meme, put Y in the chat.
I didn't rephrase yours.
There you go. Well, I'm calling it audible. If there was anything on this show today that be considered a meme, put Y in the chat. And here's a good example for you. Safe word, Batna. Some examples for you. Safe word and Batna. That's a good meme for you.
I would Google what meme means, but obviously Google doesn't matter. So I guess I can't Google it. I don't know if you know what a meme
I'm having a
is.
great time today, boy. This is funny. You're walking right into it, boy. I tell you, this is funny.
I don't see any Y's in the chat.
Moving on.
That's crazy.
Moving on.
Still looking.
We'll give him a chance. We can stay on this all day. I was trying to move on. We can stay on this all day. That's fine.
Hey.
Put a Y in the chat if y'all think there's a meme during this show. And example, again.
No, that's not the. No.
Batna, safe word.
It's funny how you gotta give hints.
Unpopular semantics. Thank you. Good job, Pooh. Good one. Good one. There's a round of applause. Unpopular semantics.
That would go there. There it is.
Unpopular semantics.
I guess we use the same button for a whole show. It's like, what are we using this for? I'm just going to start using the same button.
I apologize for my outburst.
Oh, Pooh said that's what we named the
outburst. I apologize for my outburst. I apologize for my outburst.
It's like you just keep it.
Show us your age without telling us your age.
Every time you hit the button, I'm going to hit the button.
Bruh.
Hey, we can do this all day.
Bruh.
Hey, keep going.
I'm going to hit it.
We can do this all day. Hey, that's fine. We can do this all day. I got all day.
You already been doing that all day.
There you go. We can do this all day.
You already been doing it all day.
The fact of the matter is, don't be mad because you're saying something and we call you out on it that don't make sense.
What are you saying that you're calling me out on?
Well, let's see. Safe word, Batna, Fa. If you don't, if you're not making no sense and they call you out, don't get mad about it. Just accept it.
Whoa. I was never mad. I just asked what it means.
Your actions showing it.
Can I finish?
Your actions are showing it.
Can I finish?
I'm just reiterating what I'm saying. Your actions are showing it.
Can I finish?
I'm telling you, your actions.
But you're not even listening to me, so you don't even know what actions I'm
talking
about.
If I pause, that means I'm giving you a chance to talk, right? I said your actions are displaying it, and I stopped. That is your cue to jump in.
Okay, here's where I'm jumping in. I just asked what it means, and you said it's an inside joke. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool, but I don't know what it means. So why wouldn't you educate me on what it means?
I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look up what the definition of side joke is. Let's look it up.
If somebody doesn't know what something means, wouldn't you be, if you're the one doing it, be like, this is what it means? It's funny how you want to interrupt me sometimes, but other times you don't want to talk at all.
A side joke is humorous, often quick remark or quip that's directly related to the main topic of conversation. Act as a small, playful detour. It is often used to add a touch of levity or surprise without fully derailing the primary subject. Sharma says P has a valid point. Oh, he got somebody on his side. Hey. Okay, that's enough.
That's all I'm saying is if I don't understand what it means and I'm asking you, what does that mean? And you say it's a side joke. Wait, can I finish? Here we go again.
Let me make something clear to you in conversation. When you talk and you pause, that is an opportunity for somebody to go in. Once you pause, that tells somebody that's their time to respond. I'm just throwing it out there to you.
Is this a new version of Just Generation? Devani, I get it. But Devani, my question is, if I don't know what it means, and my only question was, you keep hitting that button, I don't know what it means. and you say it's a side joke, and I say, well, I don't know what the side joke is. Wouldn't that be your time to explain? Well, this is what it means, Pete. Fa means well, whatever is the Gen Zers way of responding to memes or videos when something doesn't happen well. Okay, cool. I'll just move on. But just saying it's a side joke, that means like I know something that you don't. Ha, and run away. That's basically what just happened. You can respond.
I really don't have nothing. I'm trying to move on. There's no point. I mean, I'll just say this. That's the whole point of a side joke. Side joke is you don't know. And if nobody's going to tell you, you go find out on your own. That's what side joke means. All right. Now, finally, hopefully we can move on. I have two more I wanted to share. Military civilian translation. You have, let's see, what's a good example? Hey guys, I have a new task for you today. Are you ready? Send it. Means execute.
Send it is a good one. I don't think that's used too frequently in civilian terms. What about POV? What about POV?
Okay, how would you use that?
Hey, is that your POV outside?
Well, that's debatable because POV could also mean point of view.
Oh,
just saying.
That must be another side joke because I didn't get the point of view.
You never heard a point of view.
Is that a side joke?
Okay. All right. Sharma says point of view question mark. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
Okay. See how I can easily accept that fact. Okay, fine.
Wait, what's point of view?
POV. You never heard the term point of view? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep, because I don't want you to think I'm trying to.
Asking the same question you already
Point
asked?
of view means, in other words, if I'm saying like, hey, where is the barbershop? Oh, it's at your 12 o'clock. Based on your point of view, it's 12 o'clock. Or it could mean your opinion. From my point of view, blah, 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 blah.
Right, but you would say it from your POV.
And so, it's just like Devani would say, a civilian would think point of view. So if you use to your piece when you said, hey,
right, that's what
who's that POV outside belong to? Now, I guess you can argue it wouldn't make sense if you said, who's that POV belong to? You wouldn't say, who's that point of view belongs to?
Right. I just said POV.
Maybe.
And that's why I said, and you
Sharma
would say from your POV.
Point of view. Yeah. I just don't, I don't know. I personally don't think that's a good one.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't foresee, I would never say, who's that POV outside? You know what I mean? You know?
Okay.
Just as me personally. I could be wrong. Like, hey, I would say one more I would share is, you know, I know that you may not disagree with the direction we're going, but at the end of the day, meaning final decision. Whereas if a civilian sir at the end of the day means the end of the work day. So
I wonder
that's
if they use
usually a matter of fact thing. Like at the end of the day, you know.
Devani said personally owned vehicle is crazy. Oh, he's supply. So maybe.
Oh, I'll let you cook them. I ain't gonna say no. I'll let you cook them.
They don't drive GOVs. So I guess that's why you wouldn't use that. You would just take your POV. I guess that's career field specific. At the end of the day going in. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I think Whoa, we already stated. Whoa is the kind of one that gets used quite often. Standard gets used quite often.
What about low drag?
Oh,
low
high
hanging
speed,
fruit.
low drag. What does low hanging fruit mean?
You know, like something that's not a big deal. You know,
yeah,
I could do a blah, 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 but it's low hanging fruit. Or my favorite, too easy.
Too easy. Yes, too easy. Picture somebody you coming to work and be like, hey, I need you to get this done. Too easy.
Too easy.
Like what?
Too easy.
Hey, I might use that. That's a good one. Too easy.
Negative.
Too easy.
Negative is one. Instead of no, negative.
Oh, that would be interesting. People would just know you're military at that point. Like,
Oh,
hey,
you eat negative.
You eat today? Negative. Like what?
Negative. Negative.
Are you ready to go home? Negative. What? I guess the opposite would be like affirmative.
Justin, what's up, brother? Yeah, we said tracker earlier, man.
Yeah, you would sound like Terminator if you said affirmative. I don't think we use that at all.
Yeah, I think my favorite is tracking is a good one.
Tracking
piggyback.
Piggyback.
Squared away.
Squared away is good.
Yeah.
What about latrine? Do you say latrine?
No, didn't say latrine.
Okay.
No.
No, do you use it now?
No, I never use that. I just say bathroom. Yeah.
Bathroom.
Justin, it's all right. You ain't got to apologize for being late, brother.
Can't really think of too many more. I'm sure there's a lot more out there. I'm sure if I looked it up.
Oh, COB, close of business.
Close of business is a good one.
That's a good one. By COB today. You be like, COB? Oh, close of business.
Yeah, that's a good one.
COB, that's a good one.
I think somebody be like, but we're 24 hours. We don't close. What's a close the business? ETA? No, I think ETA is pretty well known. That's not. I don't think that's just military.
Yeah.
ETA is pretty well known.
Yeah, I think Tasker too is probably.
You think so?
You don't think civilians know Tasker? Maybe.
You gotta get Tasker complete.
Maybe suspense.
Suspense. Yeah. You got a suspense date of this. Yeah. I think that's more well known used. I think we said Roger that. I don't think I ever used 10-4. I think that's more cop stuff.
Yeah, 10-4.
I wonder if dirtbag. What about troop?
No, I think dirtbag. Maybe you can slip up and say that. I think
he's a dirtbag. I can see myself going to work and saying, like, "Hey, where's Chris at? He's a dirtbag. It don't matter."
What is? What? Let's see. There's more, man. I know there's a lot more. We already said squared away already. That's probably the biggest ones we just mentioned.
I think we got all the big ones. I can't think of too many more. I bet you I could look it up, but I couldn't think of too many more.
Yeah, I think. I think for me, I think tracking, piggyback. Tracking and piggyback is probably the biggest one, especially the track, especially both. Like you probably use those every day in the military.
You know what's a good one? Military time. Like say, what time you coming in today? 1400.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. You be like, oh, what's the end of the duty day? 1600? Huh? 1600?
It's funny because it's funny you say that because I was talking to a civilian a couple of days ago. We went out to brunch yesterday, and they were like, "Hey, what time is brunch?" And I was like, 1300, and they were like this. I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot. You don't know what time that is."
Pooh said, "Ask him about Batna."
Ask who?
I guess you. I guess.
Oh,
maybe
Pop
civilian.
Smoke. Pop Smoke.
Yeah, maybe not as prominent as the other one.
Hey, what if somebody was complaining? You just told them like you got to embrace the suck.
I can see somebody saying that. Embrace the suck. That's a bonus one, I think.
Butterbar.
Love my Army folks, but I think they would most likely do that. He said, ask Justin about Batna. Justin, do you know what Batna is? Put in the comments if you do.
Justin knows. Justin definitely knows. 100%.
Justin, if you know, just put a Y or in.
Yeah. Hurry up and wait. Like, we got to go to this meeting. Like, wow, we're just going to hurry up. But nah, I don't think that'd be used. Nah, we're just going to hurry up and wait. I wouldn't use that. Salty.
I think.
I think that gets used.
No.
Ooh, what about you know what's funny? I was gonna use it and
Justin knows what it is.
100%. I was 100% right.
I know you weren't 100% right.
No, I said 100% he knows what it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. But Justin, can I ask you real quick? Tell us, would you use that during a conversation in a negotiation?
Check your six. What's that term you use when you want somebody to go somewhere and you need to know all the information, where they're gonna go, the time to return, actions to take upon. Gawa.
Nah, nobody knows. I mean, I know what it is, but nobody's gonna do that. I would hope.
That?
Maybe if you army, maybe.
Oh man, they be like, "Yo, what you got? What you got? What?"
Or I think this is a good one. Okay, Justin says no shot. Okay.
No shot.
Here's a good one. When you say, "Hey, I know you said you was gonna be here for this meeting. What's your status?"
Oh, what's your status?
I can see. What's your status? I can see that one.
That's a good one. What's your status?
You're like, status? What? I'm okay. Like, you're not here.
What's your status? All secure? I guess that's another one. I guess with follow status.
Secure in what?
Hey, yeah, you good? All secure. Like, all right. All right.
What's your status?
What's Figmo?
Who?
Figmo.
Figmo?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Never heard of that one.
I looked that up.
No, I never heard of that one. You remember the 5 terrain features?
I never heard that. Huh?
You remember the 5 major terrain features?
Like hill, valley.
Yeah. I don't know why it popped in my head. I just think of hill, saddle, valley, ridge, depression.
Saddle?
It's weird.
Yeah. I thought saddle was, what do they call not major or minor terrain features?
Yeah, depression.
Oh.
Ridge.
Ridge, yeah. Suburb or whatever the hell it was. Yeah. Serb, whatever the hell it was.
Justin says, F it, got my orders. I never heard of that.
I've never heard that.
I've never heard of that one. Interesting. Never heard of that.
Huh. I don't even know how
like that.
I don't even know how you would use that.
Like Justin, tell us how you would do that.
Like if you're done with everything, you'd be like, Figmo.
Figmo.
Like
Figmo.
somebody says, go to this meeting. Figmo.
Figmo. Fitfo. Fitfo. What? Sharma says Fitfo.
Fitfo I heard of.
What is Fitfo?
I can't remember, but I did hear Fitfo. Or Fitfo. Would use Figmo to describe someone who got their orders in a unit and was done with the unit. I guess we call that like ROD.
Why did I just say dirtbag? You would definitely give me that. You'd be like, Figmo. You'd be like, huh? Figured the F out. Wow, I never heard that one.
Yes.
Wow.
That sounds like an office thing.
Sharma, I'm shocked that you know
that would be like an inside joke. That's what you would say. If I'd be like, I don't know what that means, you would say Fitfo.
Fitfo. You better Fitfo.
Yeah.
You better Fitfo. What? Fit what? Fit. You don't fit forever? Oh, no.
I learned that one from FSA.
Sharma, I'm shocked. I didn't expect that from you, that you would know that.
It's funny I didn't know it, but I definitely heard it before.
I learned that one from SFS.
Yeah, I definitely heard it before.
I never heard that one. Wow.
Nobody told you to figure it out?
No, not what Fitfo.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
The acronym Fitfo.
Oh, so Justin says we use Figmo in personnel. Yeah, okay. So that's a career field thing.
Do you think somebody with military person in the civilian sector would say, you know, when you get there, give me a salute?
Oh, like a salute report.
Yeah, a salute report. Yeah.
Nah.
No.
I don't think salute gets used other than combat or exercises. That's really it.
Give me a salute. Or the 5 W's. Give me the 5 W's.
Okay, now that's an interesting one. I think 5 W's gets used in civilian terms. I think the military adopted it.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see that.
I definitely think that. I hate the F and 5Ws.
Why?
Because everybody's, give me the 5W. Can I just give you 2? And you know what I'm talking about? Like, why do I have to go all 5?
OODA loop.
Oh, I haven't used OODA loop ever. That's like Coca. Like, nah, I ain't
Coca.
I ain't used that ever.
Coca. What is that thing we went through in the Air Force? Somebody will tell me in the chat. It's related to OODA. Oh, Quality Air Force. What was the other term they used during that time? That was a dark time in the Air Force. Quality Air Force.
Like risk factors or
something to that effect. You know what I mean? Like a risk report. What was that acronym
oh,
for that?
fudge.
You know, you do man,
like a risk assessment?
So yeah, but it was an acronym.
Oh, I'm going to look it up.
Somebody tell us in the chat. I'll be so pissed when you
know what's funny? A commander made me do one of these before, and he called it, and I couldn't. I was like, I don't even know what that inside joke me. He made me look it up. He told me to FITFO or FITTO or whatever it is.
FITTO.
Dang it! How would you put that acronym?
Fudge! I was on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember. It's related to doing a risk management assessment before you do anything. It was an acronym.
So you got a hazard identify risk assessment control. You have a RAMS.
It was like a matrix or something that you had to do.
I know it was the matrix. It's not a QRA. Not a tile.
Come on, I know somebody in the chat know what it is.
ADER, AIDERR, steps to risk assessment, identify, decide, harm, evaluate, records, review.
Nah, it wasn't that. Oh.
It was a risk assessment though, right?
Yeah, it was a risk assessment, but there was an acronym that was related to it. A well-known acronym that, you know, you heard it, you know what that meant. But I'm gonna look it up.
We're failures.
I can't believe I can't remember. Risk assessment.
Yeah, we're definitely failures because I'm looking it up and none of these are ringing a bell. Major accident report.
Fudge. It's not OODA loop because OODA is observe, orient, decide, and act. It's not that.
Man, please tell me somebody put it in chat already. I was still saying OODA loop. God, I think you got everybody stumped with this.
Man, I'm gonna be so pissed when I find it out because it's right in my head. But I cannot remember what it is.
PATGA? PATDA?
No.
PDCA?
No.
Plan, do, check, act? SWAT? No, it's not a SWAT.
Nah. What is this?
Damn, we suck.
No. Oh well. I'm gonna figure it out.
I wish I could see one because it says it on there on the form. If we're talking about the same thing.
I mean, I think we're talking about the same thing. It just trying to remember. Oh, ORM.
ORM. God dang.
Fudge.
How did we not get that?
Steps. ORM.
Operational risk management.
God. Yeah, we're retired. Yep, we're officially retired. And you guys in the chat, y'all be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all ain't know it either. Y'all ain't put it in there. ORM.
ORM. Man, fudge.
Yeah, officially retired. It's a sad day.
Well, I think we should just retire the show on that note. Just go ahead and ORM that thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, good show. Sorry about the beginning. I don't know what happened with the algorithm and everything. We'll figure it out. Try again another day. But thanks for joining us. Good show. Don't forget about your BATNAs when you go to the negotiation table. Make sure you use that properly. Anyway, what you gotta say? Hello?
Couldn't resist. Couldn't resist. And we appreciate y'all joining us, man, for another Sunday. As a reminder, we do shows every Sunday without fail. We will do better. We're doing better. This week we had, not me, but mostly, first of all, let's give P his flowers, man, because I mentioned it before, but we don't. There's a lot of stuff with the show. God dang it, that's enough. There's a lot of stuff with the show that he does. Like if you think about like the centerpiece of something, like say when you think about the structure of a building, they think about that one center beam that
The
if you knock it
linchpin.
down. I wasn't really going that direction. But in other words,
The
if that
long
beam
pole.
drops, the whole thing drops. And that's Pete, man. And he does a lot behind the show, behind the scenes, the editing of the videos, the shorts. He runs the engineer. Yes, give him his flowers, man. I've tried engineering. I will try it again, but I tell you, it is a lot of work. Not only that, financially, man, he does, if not all the finances for the show. We don't give him the proper credit he deserves. So shout out to Pete, man. It's a lot of hard work, man. If you want to contribute, especially when we get to 500 subscribers on YouTube, which is reminder, please, if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please do so. Pooh, Devani, you was on here earlier. If you ain't subscribed on YouTube, please do so. So we can help get on 500. Pooh is my son, Devani Council. That's my dude. Love him to death. Sharma's giving you his flowers. That's right. Appreciate that. But yeah, thank y'all for joining us for another show. We will be on again next Sunday. We got some good stuff coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Potentially an interview Ben did. Thanks, Pop. Thanks, Pooh. I appreciate it. But we have a potential show with a U.S. Olympian who is an Air Force member coming up in April. And also an interview with a senior leader in the Space Force that we are looking forward to. So that's coming up soon within the next couple of weeks in April. So we're looking forward to that. So again, thank y'all for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your week and do something nice for somebody.
Oh,
and
there
go
you go.
Birds.
Peace. I